long lineage of carpet merchants dating back to the late 1800s, and he claims that he has wool instead of blood running through his veins. Hi, I'm Lisa Ang. This week on At Home With, I meet Suliman Hamid, Managing Director of Hassans Carpets, one of the pioneers of Singapore's carpet industry. Join me for a ride into Suliman's world of carpets, where work and pleasure are often closely woven together. His passion for the carpet trade often turns work into play. I find out where he draws the line on At Home With. Throughout history, admirers of fine carpets have considered them as family heirlooms and solid investments, and these objects of desire have been treasured as works of art. It was such appreciation that has inspired Suliman's grandfather, Khawaja Abdul Hamid, who comes from a long lineage of carpet merchants, to open Hassans Carpets in Singapore in the 1930s. Since then, it's grown into a three-generation family-run business.
I always remember my grandfather saying that buying a carpet is like getting married, because it is something that you live with for the rest of your life. The only difference is that the carpet doesn't talk back.
The more knowledgeable you are, the more knowledge you have.
Suliman's passion for carpet stems naturally from his love for art and culture, and his knowledge and business sense for the carpet industry didn't come from formal education, but rather through the school of hard knocks.
I have been involved in the business already while I was in school. I was already helping in deliveries and attending to customers and, washing the carpet. I have learned the business from the hard way. Basically, my grandfather is a traditionalist. He says, you want to do the business, you have to start from scratch. After school, the driver used to come and pick us up, straight away take me to the shop instead of going home. I preferred that. And I used to go and sit down and do my homework in the shop with my grandfather and my father. And that's where I learned about the business also at the same time.
And this love for carpets has shaped his attitude towards work.
That's where I begin, and I believe I've never worked a single day of my life, because I've always enjoyed what I did. And that is an important element to me, because if the day I think I'm working, I'm slogging for money, I'll leave it. Because I think I can make more money elsewhere.
It's often hard to draw the line when work is no longer work. In Suliman's case, where his love for the carpet trade started from a very young age, it shows when you get him talking on this trade.
And what you see in life in carpets is that you see the culture behind every carpet that is being made and the historical values behind it. And you tend to treasure people's work and blood and sweat and tears that has been put behind it, and also the imagination of the weavers that goes into it. And that gives you a lot of feeling for people.
And that's something his employees can testify to.
We are one very large family here. Apart from the two brothers, obviously related, none of us are related to the family, but we are treated as if we are related to them. If you have lived and if you have worked with him, I can tell you that if you want something from him, you'll have to work very hard at it, but you will get it at the end of the day. He's the sort of person that appreciates talent. I had the unfortunate circumstances of experiencing cancer in '96, and when I did that, I was at the prime of my life, just turned 30, 31, and all of a sudden my whole world crashed, just came tumbling down. And the first person to hold my hand and cry with me was Suliman. I mean, in the hospital, and that's when I realized that my future will always be with this company. And it's, of course, every other, there are a lot of employers out there who would have done the same thing. But what was very different was that I was invited to recuperate in their home.
When Suliman isn't working, he spends his weekends devoted to his friends and family. Suliman, what is it about football that you like so much?
Oh, I've been playing football from a very young age, from school, primary school, secondary school and all. And I've always been playing, and I enjoy the game. It gives me good exercise, and it's a pleasure playing the game.
Isn't it
very relaxing for me.
Relaxing?
Yeah, it's very relaxing.
Isn't it a little too contact sport?
No. I mean, I love contact sport. I mean, I've been playing, actually, I'm very sporty. And I play all sorts of games. I've played rugby, I've played football, I've played hockey, cricket, all kinds. Now I'm playing golf. It's more relaxing, as you say.
So do you have a regular team? Is this your regular team?
Yeah, these friends of mine, they come every Sunday, and we have a little bit of session for about half an hour to an hour, and we just sweat it out, and after that, we have a swim or just sit down and have a meal after that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
One question though, what happens when the ball goes over the fence?
We either jump over the fence and pick up the ball, if they are not in, or if the house is occupied, then we go and ask permission from the front and get the ball back. Sometimes they get upset, of course, but neighbors are very tolerant. They're very nice people.
Okay.
They understand.
After the break, Suliman's football khakis will let you know how his gentle and soft-spoken man behaves on the soccer pitch.
He was really chasing this ball, and there was no letting up. Even after the ball has gone out, crashed into one of the seesaws here, the swings, and got us quite worried.
It has become a regular thing for Suliman to have his close friends over for a game of soccer every Sunday, and his friends will let you know that this 52-year-old is no pushover on the field.
He seems to be always there, like it's quite getting old, but I think he's not letting the old age bother him. He seems, on the football field, he seems to play as if he's younger than us, all of us.
He was really chasing this ball, and there was no letting up. Even after the ball has gone out, he crashed into one of the seesaws here, the swings, and got us quite worried. But then finally, when he got out, it was okay. And the other point is, I think he's the only one who plays football with sarong on, I think for a guy his age, I think we have to take our hats off to him. Yeah, he's a real fun guy.
Yeah, he also kicks the ball over the fence quite a bit. He gets carried away, very enthusiastic in the game.
Although he might be quite an aggressive character on the soccer field, one characteristic of Suliman that is echoed by all his close friends is his giving nature.
Sincerity shines through. There are some people you find it difficult to make friends, but he's one person who, myself, when I first got to know him, I was as though I had known him for 10 years, just after I got to know him. So he's got something in his personality. I think it's more the sincerity and the friendliness perhaps in him that shines through and makes a person comfortable.
What he does things, he doesn't expect anything in return. That's we can say, Doesn't say that, I do this to you, then he expects something in return. No, I don't think so, because he has been giving, I think, most of the time.
Another characteristic of Suliman that his close friends are quick to add is his calm and collected ways.
We have yet to see him lose his anger. I mean, since it's quite some time already. I mean, about a few years already. We have yet to see him actually lose his cool in front of us. I think it's a very rare thing that can happen. In fact, it didn't happen yet.
Suliman, who's the eldest son, has taken over the duties as the head of the family since his father passed away. And since young, Suliman has often assumed the position of middleman between his younger siblings and his parents. And sometimes he's even called to play the role of peacemaker should one of his brothers get into trouble.
When we were growing up, And if our academic performance was not very good, right, invariably we would use him as the intermediary to take our report cards to our parents. You know, in that way, if our performance was not up to mark and if there had to be violence, right, he would be there to intercede and stop it. You know, and even in our parents' eyes, he had that rank because quite often, in their anger, when they refused to sign our report cards, they would give him the permission to sign our report cards.
Oh,
You know?
wow. And aside from being the middleman for his brothers and parents, Suliman, in his brothers' eyes, is not only the natural leader of the Hamid's family, but also the perfect person to head the family business.
And then you got 4 crescent girls.
And I don't get tired.
Suliman is a very level-headed person. I mean, I am in the office with him together, we work together. And since he's the most level-headed, he keeps everything under control. And as you know, there can only be one general or one captain of a ship. And some are born to lead and some are born to follow. So he's the leader, I'm the follower. That's because he has the most experience. And most of the buying and the exposure he has had is far much more than anybody, I think, in this region. Basically, he's good at what he does. Very, very good. And I know people in Singapore, even dealers, who have come to him for advice.
The first day we met Suliman, our first impression was, oh, he's quite an intimidating, quite a serious character, you know. But what is he like at home? What is Suliman at home?
Wow. It's a very easy question, huh? Basically, he's a very jovial person, very lovable husband, lovable father. But he can be difficult sometimes.
Difficult in what way?
Wow. Actually, he's not that difficult. It's not. Generally, he's a cool and calm person and full of tolerance and patience. I'm just the opposite. Okay.
Right? Has he got any quirky habits?
Watch TV.
He's actually quite a boring character at home. Comes home, he has his dinner straight away on his bed, the telly, and then after half an hour he's fast asleep and the television will be on. And when I come up, I'll switch off the TV and he'll tell me, why you switched off? I'm watching. I say, very funny, huh? Watching with your eyes closed. Then he has to, and then he'll turn on the TV again and then start watching for 10 minutes and off again he goes.
Although Suliman's wife, Balkis, will claim that he isn't quite the life of the party, his daughters, nephews and nieces find him quite the opposite.
He's a very sporting person. Like when we were at this party, then we had this manhunt contest, so he went up there and took off his shirt and quite a lot of muscles came out.
And now y'all can blackmail him with those photos.
Oh yeah, in Club Med he dressed up as a ballerina and started dancing around. Made us all laugh.
Aside from being a fun-loving uncle to his niece and nephew, his love for his entire family is admired by his wife, Balkis.
One thing I admire most about him is his tremendous love, care, concern, and respect for his family members, for his parents, for his siblings. I mean, I've seen so many close-knitted families, but I've never seen one like this, like the Hassans. It's different, There are no limits to what they would do for each other. No limits at all. They would sacrifice for each other, and that's amazing,
And the final seal of approval from his family members can be summed up in his brother's words.
No, there's not peanuts.
No, they leave.
Well, our family works on a patriarchal basis. He is the elder brother, and in that sense, he's like the mother hen looking after the brood. As he's my elder brother, and insofar as elder brothers go, he's one hell of a brother. I mean, to cut a long story short, if I had the choice of an elder brother in the whole wide world, I would still pick him.
Other than the usual Sunday prayers in Suliman's home, there's also a religious study class that's conducted for the younger members of the family. And Suliman makes it a point to sit in with his daughters for the classes. This, according to him, is of utmost importance, as he feels that religion plays a big role in his daily life and should also be for his daughters.
Basically, it's to give them encouragement, you know. When you sit in with them, they become more comfortable, and it encourages them that you participate together with the learning of the religion. I think it is extremely important to them. All of them should learn their religion and their values in life from a very young age, because this is the crucial time. Then when they grow up, I mean, that's the time they're going to be on their own. This is the time they need the guidance, you know. The foundation is set for them.
Join me after the break when Suliman tells us why he brings his work back home, as well as his other passion.
I like the color of the silver, and also at the same time I like the craftsmanship that has been put into the silver.
Hi, and welcome back to At Home With. You probably think that collecting what you trade will gain you access to the best collection. Well, for Suliman, deciding what to keep for himself and what to sell can be quite a problem. Suliman, do you ever have that problem?
Yes, all the time. To be a collector and a dealer at the same time is one of the most difficult things to be in. Your customers always would like to buy the best that we have, but there are sometimes pieces that I would like to cherish and keep for myself and be part of the family possession, or heirloom, as you may say. There are times where I find pieces which I cannot resist. I just have to keep it for myself until I find a replacement for it with another piece, then I will sell the other one. But I still have some pieces that I wouldn't sell for anything.
Balkis, what do you think about Suliman's selection for the house?
Well, they're all beautiful and they don't cost me a cent. And I can keep changing them as and when I please. Just go to the shop and pick another one if I don't like a piece. No, get new pieces from the shop.
As long as she keeps the carpet and doesn't change, the husband is all right with me.
One piece that would probably be staying in the possession of the Hamid's residence for a long time is this 100-year-old mashad. This carpet is made from the finest Iranian wool. The beauty of this piece shines through in its clarity of the intricate design, enhanced by 35 different vegetable colors. But this is not the only gem that would never leave Hamid's residence.
This is a tribal rug made by the Bakhtiari tribes in Iran, in the Zoroas Mountains. And this piece again is about 100 years old. Yeah, maybe a little bit more, made last century. And if you look at the colors, it's all a play of colors. Art, it's basically art. When you talk about art, you're talking about play of colors and play of design. And if you look at the balance of design and the little naivety in the workmanship, because it's innocence in the piece, and that gives it a lot of charm. It is, that kind of carpet is different from this. This is more ethnic, tribal, what I call little barbaric art.
This feels a little different also.
It feels different, yes. The wool is different. It's a little bit harder wool comparatively. And this is a piece that is made in Kashan in Iran also. And as you can see, it has got a beautiful rustic red. And to achieve this color from natural source is quite difficult. You can get burgundy red, you can get chili red and things like that. But this rustic red is not a common color from vegetation.
Suliman, when you're talking about something like carpets, and I asked him how he draws the line between work and play. Do you have a distinction between that?
To me, I've never worked a single day in my life. I've enjoyed my work, It's something that gives me a lot of pleasure. I mean, I travel, it gives me the opportunity to meet lots of different kind of people. It gives me the opportunity to meet from the farmers, the peasants, right up to royalties. And it's always interesting. You're always meeting different people and with different kind of attitude towards life and towards collecting things. So I've always enjoyed that. So I've never considered working. The day I start working, I'll retire.
One is why? Aside from his carpet collection, Suliman's passion for silverware, particularly Iranian silverware, is very much in line with his attraction to tradition and exquisite crafts.
Where do you collect these from?
These are mostly from Iran, and you see Iranian silver has a lot of intricate workmanship on it, much so than any other kind of silver from India, Pakistan or Cambodia. You know, the Iranian silver is far more intricate. If you look at this tray, the pictures on this tray, they're all different, you know, and even the picture here is very different. It's one whole scenery, and very, very intricate flowers have been carved into the silver. And this silver is about 98% silver. Yeah.
Some of his collection date back to the late 1800s. Other than the extremely fine workmanship found on these handcrafted Iranian silverware, Suliman's fascination with history is reflected in his collection, which depict scenes of the early Iranian culture.
In most of the artwork, this is a hunting scene. In the Iranian culture, hunting was a pastime in the 15th, 16th, 17th century. And until today, they do hunt a little bit, but not in this fashion anymore. Yeah, of course, not on horsebacks, but this was part and parcel of the Iranian culture. That's why you find it in most of the artwork. You find hunting sceneries and garden designs. This is part and parcel of their pleasure pastime. Yeah?
That's true.
And of course, this tray, I like this very much, purely because it's a whole design of a carpet. You see, it has the medallion, the corners, the flowers, the borders. It's just like another carpet on the tray.
It wasn't hard for me to note that this very family-oriented man's approach towards pleasure, work and life in general is based on his pragmatic ways and good old-fashioned principles of honesty and modesty. And these attributes are thanks to his parents' strict guidance and his religious upbringing.
The lessons that have been taught to me is more based on honesty by the parents, and also to stand by whatever you say, and to make sure that whatever you say is the truth and is also something that you believe in, you know. You don't say things just to make a sale, or you don't say things for the occasion. You have to have a certain principle. That again goes back into the religion that you practice. That's how the religion teaches you, and that's what you've been taught from young. I mean, either you know, it's been ingrained into your mind from a very young age that you have to be a good person in life, irregardless what the circumstances are. Very high density, very Hassan lines with gold, with silk outline.
And through the many circumstances life has put him through, his principles have shown that they can stand the test of time.